shit. This 1,000. Spin that shit. Spin that shit. Spin that shit. Shit, you coming? Spin the check and get it right back.
What's going on, guys? It's your boy Eazyy TV bringing you guys another Division 2 video. Today I just want to basically teach you guys something that a lot of people, content creators, are not teaching you guys. I still get messages about ARs with critting and SMGs with critting. And some of the new Division 2 people or people who's just now getting into Division are having questions about critting, and I want to basically do a quick class and breakdown on how critting works, especially for AR. So I'm gonna go through the whole scenario with SMGs and ARs, but this video is mainly about AR, so you guys can get an understanding on why you're not critting, at what range do you crit, how far do you crit, how much do you crit for, what's your chances of critting, and I'm gonna go through a whole breakdown of that. All right, so first things first, SMGs, for the people who don't know, SMGs come with crit chance on them already. All right, they have 14.5%. Some of them, I think some of them might come with something different, but they come with crit chance, and if you see, they have a different range. All right, so from 11 critical strike range, from 11 to 33 yards, it strikes. All right, but from anything below 11, all right, it looked like anything below 11, say 0 to 30 yards, it's in the red. You have a damage drop off as well, a real bad damage drop off, because SMGs are not supposed to go far like assault rifles and rifles and stuff like that. Now, when it comes to ARs, if you guys can see, when it comes to ARs don't come with crit chance on them. They don't come with crit damage. They don't come with enemy armor damage like how they did in Division 1. They come with damage to health, which is usually 29%. And then, as you guys can see, from 11 to 49 yards, that it crits from 11 to 49 yards. So that means anything under 11 yards does not crit. Anything between 11 yards and 49 yards, it crit. But once it hit 50, you don't crit. It's a damage drop off as well with that. So you guys can kind of get the concept on how critting works. All right. Now, I will say this. The little peak of the build that you guys just saw is a build that I'm going to upload later in the week. It is a pure crit build. And when I mean pure crit, it is a glass cannon, critical hit chance, critical hit damage AR build. And with those type of builds, you sacrifice a lot. And when I mean you sacrifice a lot, you sacrifice a lot. And the stuff that you usually sacrifice is either armor and health. It's what you sacrifice. Those type of builds are not meant for everybody. These type of builds are meant for seasoned people and people who know how to play these builds correctly. You won't be able to get a new person on this game and be able to have them pick up a crit build and then they wonder why they get shredded. It's certain ways that you have to play with the crit build. You just can't play with it any type of way. All right, so back to the critical hit damage. All right, so we're going to change this right here to the elites. And I also want you guys, I want to break down the numbers to you guys because some people are misinformed. All right, so your white numbers that you get for shooting in the range, it's your basically base white numbers. All right, the blues that you get numbers are damage, is damage to armored enemies. So the blue number is damage, basically damage to armor. If you don't have any damage to armor, that damage that you hit for like a yellow, or let's say like a veteran, once that armor, that blue armor bar come up, like I'm gonna show you guys right now. Once that blue number comes up, it kind of coincides with what kind of damage that you have on your gun. Mine's will be a little bit higher because I do have damage to armor, but it kind of coincides. So you see it says 63 and then it means 26, and this is 26. So it kind of coincides with each other with when you hitting blue numbers. So white is base, blue is damage to armor. The orange numbers or yellow numbers, however you want to say it, it's crits. That's critical hit damage. All right. And with critical hit damage, it works hand in hand with crit chance. All right. So think about it this way. You have to have a certain amount of crit chance to be able to put out a certain amount of crit damage consistently. All right. So let's say if you're at 20% crit chance, but you got 100% crit damage, right? You only got a 10% out of that magazine that's going to hit a critical number at 100% critical hit damage, versus you having 60% crit chance and 100% crit damage. Damn near 60% of that mag is going to hit critical numbers for 100% critical hit damage. If you guys follow me, all right? So crit chance and crit damage go hand in hand. Crit chance is only a chance to crit. It's not damage. It's only a chance to crit. Critical hit damage, the name is in it in itself, it gives you a chance to hit at a critical hit, like a critical hit number, a damage number. So the higher your critical hit damage is, the higher you will be hitting for critical hit numbers. The more critical hit chance you have, the more you will be able to frequently, consistently hit at that same amount. So if you're hitting for like 70k critical hit chance, critical hit damage on an NPC, and you have 60% critical hit chance, you have a 60% of hitting at 70k almost every single time out of that magazine. So you guys can understand that, all right? Also, red numbers are headshot numbers. Red numbers are only headshot numbers. Now, you could crit for a headshot, which it will pop up as a yellow number. And usually headshot crits are higher than body shot crits because it's a headshot, all right? So a headshot crit is usually higher than a body shot crit. A lot of the times you're going to get headshot because you're shooting at the head, and those headshot numbers are red. All right. So as long as we getting through that concept that you guys already understand, that white means base, blue means armor, damage to that you're doing to armor on like players in like NPCs or whatever you want to call them, elites, veterans, and then orange numbers are crits and red numbers are headshot damage. All right. Red numbers are headshot damage. All right. So with that being said, I want to show you guys the range that you can crit at. So what I've already tested with this at 20 feet right here, which is the closest, this one right here, that's closest to me. At 20 feet, you don't crit. Like, I wish it would have let you put it in yards, but it don't let you put it in yards. It only lets you put it in feet, and it only put it in meters. All right. So from what I've seen right here, 20 feet. So from 20 feet up until me, you do not crit. This space right here, you do not crit. All right. So we're going to try to get the other dummy, which is this second dummy here, to see if we crit. Now, I can tell you right now, this is a crit range right here. You're going to crit at this range, as you guys can see. 50k on the body, 50k on the body. You see the blue numbers, and once that armor went away, you see the white numbers come in. So that's the, you know, the base. And then usually that's when the AR does its most damage because it has 29% damage to health. So you see the white numbers, and then now you see where I was hitting 50k crits on the armor. Now I'm hitting 67 and 64k crits without the armor because of the 29% damage to health that you get on an AR. All right. So once you get that armor off, the AR kicks in with its full potential damage. All right. So let's get this out the way. So now we about to put this on elite, and I'm trying to get this. So right here, as you guys can see, let's see how far is this. Right there, he's at 54 feet. So 54 feet, you're critting. And to be honest, all the way back there, you're also critting as well. I'm going to show you guys. You can crit from this far. I think anything behind him, like that back wall, is where you stop critting. All right, so as you guys can see, look, 52, 55. You see the blue numbers, which is damage to armor, the 29K, and then the crits. So you can crit from this far. Then you see 71 once that armor go away. But that 71 is there because the simple fact that one of these pieces have hard hitting on it. So it gives me an additional 10% damage to elites, all right? So that's why that one hits harder for yellows instead of reds and purples. All right, so as you guys can see, you can crit from that far back with an AR, all right? Anything behind that to like that wall, you probably won't crit because there's a damage drop off. Now, with this one, let's try to get this one closer. You can crit at this range. This is easy. I just wanted to show you guys where you start critting at, because this first one you want crit, and hopefully that first one comes up to where I can show you guys. And with this crit build, as you guys can see, it shreds. It's nasty. And it's not a PvE build. All right, so now this is the closest one. This is the one I said it's at 20 feet. It doesn't crit. This is too close. This is too close. You're not in that critical strike range. You're only getting blues and whites in headshots. So you see the blue, you hit a white, and then you see the headshot. That's all you get. You get no crits whatsoever because this is too close. Now, back in Division 1, there was no, you critted at whatever range you were at. So up close, far back, mid range, anything with the AR, you was able to crit. It wasn't capped. Now this game, how they made it is capped to where you can only crit at a certain range. And to be honest, even in the Berserk Strain clutch meta, ARs were obsolete because the critical hit strike, they couldn't fight off SMGs. The SMGs can crit at a super close range, but ARs couldn't. So that's why everybody was running that type of stuff. And same thing go with different guns. LMGs, shotguns, they all have a damage drop off and they all have a critical hit range. All right. So as you guys can see, there's the white and the blue numbers. All right. So you see there was no crits there. We're not getting any crits whatsoever because this is too close. And once again, like I said, this is 20 feet. All right. That's 20 feet. That's right under the NPC. That's 20 feet. So at 20 feet, you're not critting at all. I just want to teach you guys this so you can understand what critting means. And then I'm also going to my SMG so you guys can see. All right. So like we already confirmed that this far back, that's a crit. I'm trying to get this dummy to come down right here. So we got to keep shooting until we can get that guy to come down. Now, when I do drop this build, I will say, use this at your own risk in PvP. All right? Use this at your own risk because you're losing a lot of armor and health, but it hits hard as shit. Real hard. All right, so this is the second dummy. So at this range, you're critting. So we're going to confirm at 30, let me see, 34 feet, 34 to 36 feet is when you start critting. Okay, so from 20 feet and down, you do not crit. You do not crit. We're critting at 34. I can't say 21 to 30, you know, 21 and back is when you start critting because it doesn't show me that. We can only go based off of what the dummies is showing. So from 0 to 20, there's nothing there. 0, 20, 21, 22, there's nothing there. But at 34 feet is when I start critting. So from 34 feet all the way back there is when you start critting. And to be honest, I think you can start critting a little bit closer, maybe maybe 30 feet. Let me see. Yeah, because it's already in that range of him being, you know, glowing up. So maybe around 30 feet is when you start critting. So from 0, I can say 0 to 20, you don't crit. But from when you hit 30 feet, that's when you start critting with the AR and on back. All right. So like I said, from this range right here is 30 feet. And all the way back there is probably where you do not crit at. I can't shoot all the way back there because there's nothing all the way back there to shoot. But this guy, and we already confirmed that you can crit that far back. You see that? There's a crit, 53. So with this one right here, 30 feet, you crit at 30 feet. So you guys can start seeing this is when you can, this is how far back you have to be able to do crit damage on someone. It has to be in this range because if they're closer, you're not going to be able to crit, and you have to have some type of weapon damage to be able to shred somebody down to have that. Well, which we got a decent amount of weapon damage. We had 26.4K. You can get it up higher than that with the chest pieces and the backpacks and stuff like that. I don't have real high weapon damage rolls on the chest piece or the backpack, but you guys get the understanding. Hopefully this helped you guys out with some of your crit builds and give you ideas on how crits work in this game. All right, so we're going to try to get this dummy back to the first one, and I'm going to pull out my SMG, and you guys are going to see the difference between the critting from the SMG, which I'm pretty sure you'll be able to crit real close, versus how close it was with the AR and you were not able to crit. So once again, this is at like 30 feet right here, and you're critting 29, 55, you're critting. This is with the armor on. Once that armor comes off, you crit for higher numbers because of the 29% health damage that you get on the AR. See, it went from 55 to 71. And on top of that, I have 1 piece of damage to elites. So it gives me an additional 10% damage. All right. So you can make a crit, you know, damage to elites build if you want to, but you can't have the best of both worlds in this game. It doesn't happen like that. Usually with Division 1, I will say with Division 1, we had a post that can give us crit chance and crit damage that we're missing on the build. We had a post that we can consistently keep doing and get that crit chance and that crit damage so we can hit real hard with an AR. With this game, we don't have that post anymore. We just only got spotter, which give you weapon damage. It does not give you crit chance. It does not give you crit damage or anything like that. So right now, this is with the Eagle Bear, and I'm gonna show you guys why I use it with the Eagle Bear. The Eagle Bear, it has 10% critical hit chance and it has 15% critical hit damage. Now, you do not need the Eagle Bear to make a crit build. All right, there's 2 talents. If you make a glass cannon crit build like I do, there's 2 talents that I would recommend: Strained and Ranger. All right, so let me go look and see what those 2 talents do, just to give you guys an idea. So all right, so Strain, 5% critical hit damage is gained for every 10% of armor that is depleted. So once that armor is taken away, you get critical hit damage. That's going to compensate for some of the crit damage that you're going to miss on the mods. Now, you do have crit chance and crit damage mods that will go on an AR, but I don't think it is high. It's as high as the Eagle Bear. I'm sorry about that. But as you guys can see, like this, it has a drop off range, but it's a assault rifle, so it crits from 11 to 43. You see it, 11 to 49 yards, and this one goes from 11 yards to 59 yards. So you can even hit further with this one. You can hit 10 more yards further than the Eagle Bear and the F2000. And then it says 10 to 54 is where, you know, it's blue at right there. Now with SMGs, it's 11 to 33 and then 0 to 30. So it already has crit chance on it. So what I'm gonna do is we're gonna take this SMG and I'm gonna show you guys the crit range that you can get with the SMG. We're gonna just use this one right here. So let's try to get that first NPC super close. That super close NPC. As you guys can see, man, this damn thing shreds and only have 1 piece damage to elites. It's the crits that hit real hard. Crits usually hit harder than white numbers. That's only if you got a good amount of crit damage though. So I don't have to have a damage to elites build to shred. You don't have to have that. All right, so this was the one that once again the AR couldn't crit at. That is usually a mistake. Like when you shoot from one target to this one and a crit pop up, it's really base reading off of that one. So as you guys can see again, I'm not critting at all. So that was just a fluke with that one right there. But once again with the SMG, let me see, we should be able to crit at this range. There we go, 22K. So we critted at 22K, but you see I'm hitting less on crits than I am on my AR. See, 22K. So the closer with the SMG, the SMG is strong up close. The further back the target is, the SMG loses damage. All right, it loses accuracy, it loses damage, so you're not hitting as hard. But when you're up close, you can crit. Versus the AR, which it probably show a crit number. No, it didn't. You cannot crit. So at 20 feet with an AR, you cannot crit. At 20 feet with an SMG and closer, you can crit. See, it's a big difference. And it comes with crit chance on the SMGs. So that's really what I only want to show you guys. Let's see if we got any type of LMG. Well, I got an LMG on me right now. Let's just check the LMGs right quick. So we're going to use that one. As you guys can see, the crit range is, once again, it's like an assault rifle. 11 to 54 range, which is a little bit further. 11 to 54 range is the critical strike range. So being that, if it's this close, it probably does not crit. Once again, it's not critting. As you guys can see, just pure white numbers and blue numbers. But if we get down here, we should see a crit number. 66, see? But as long as you guys understand what I'm telling you guys about crit chance and crit damage, this should help you guys out a lot with your crit builds. How much crit chance you need to put into a build, how much crit damage you need to put into a build. I am going to show you guys the crit chance and crit damage numbers I have for the build that's coming out. As you guys seen, the build is very squishy. Like I said, in PvP, use it at your own risk. This is not for me. That is not this build in particular for PvP. It's not meant for mediocre players. This build is meant for seasoned people or people that know how to play in a certain strategy. Because if you do not, and you just go in there, you will be fucking pummeled. I'm letting y'all know right now. All right. So let's just look at the crit chance that we got on this build, which I'm trying to put more into the build, but it's all good. So with the build, we have 56.5% crit chance, which the cap, I believe, is still 60% crit chance like it was on Div 1, and 91% crit damage. I could go 60 and a little bit less, but I'm fine right here. You know, this 9% and all, it don't make or break my build. 4% of getting crit chance or 3.5% of crit chance does not make or break my build. All right. So your idea of potentially putting out the max you want to, I say 100% critical hit damage and 60% crit chance, but you have to get those rolls for that on the gear. So as you guys can see, this is a crit AR build, and for the numbers, you see the armor is low, the health is low, but for PvE, oh, it's a breeze with PvE. This build is a true definition of a cover-based shooter build, because when you're in cover, you have to be in cover most of the time when you use this build. I do have gameplay of that. When I drop this build tomorrow, I'm going to go down to all the pieces that you guys want to see, to what I've did, how to change things. If you guys don't want to run a glass cannon, I'm going to also show you guys that as well. All right. But hopefully this video helps you guys out with any of your builds, blueprints, ideas, or anything like that, so you guys can get an understanding on how crit chance and crit damage does work and the range that it works at. But always, if you guys are new to the channel, hit that sub button. If this helped you guys out, always leave a thumbs up. It's your boy Eazyy TV, and I'm out.